I think you're muted, sis.
Yeah. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know what was going on with that, but did you hear anything I said?
No.
No.
We just thought
Okay. Okay, so like your sisters. So first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, which the world ignorantly calls God, his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, which the world his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and through the Spirit we get built up and edified tonight. So tonight's topic is our foremother, Miriam, and what can we learn from her? So have everybody read the little, it ain't that long of a story. I think it's only like 16 verses. Did everybody read the story? Do everybody know the story of Miriam?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my question would be, what is it that we can learn from her?
What we can learn from Miriam is not to murmur under our breath, not to complain. You know, just be silent. That's what I got from Miriam. Like, just don't murmur, don't complain, because we shouldn't speak about what the Most High is doing in other people. Right? If he have another person that's doing a job, then we have to let them do that job and not complain about what he has that person doing, because it's for his own purpose, it's for his will. So that's what we learned about Miriam.
Good point.
Also too, like not to always question everything. Like the Most High was dealing with Moses, and so for her to even just speak on something, you know what I'm saying, that was not, the Most High wasn't dealing with her one-on-one. I feel like she was questioning the Most High's will, you know. Also, like, we can't be so quick to just say things that pops into our heads and just blurt it out, you know, without even just thinking about it before you even speak on it. You know?
Yeah. I get from that, stay in your place, basically. You know, there's an order to things, and her being a woman as well, like, who give you the authority to speak on something that has nothing to do with you? You know, it had nothing to do with her. Like y'all said, you know, the Most High was dealing with Moses, and she spoke on it when she should have just stayed in her place. That's what I get from that. Staying in order.
Sis. Good point. Anybody else?
I agree with everything that was being said. That's exactly what I got from it.
All right, so I just want to pull up Miriam's. Does anybody know the meaning behind Miriam's name, what her name means?
Not right on.
No, I don't.
Okay. I want to show y'all something. Because our name represents us. It carries who we are. It leaves a reputation. Obviously, coming to this truth, we know that a good name is above rubies. It's above gold. Like, it's a beautiful thing to have a new name, right? So if you go and you just thinking about the accounts that the Most High used, his prophets that he used, the servants that he used, he renamed them. He gave them, not all of them, but some of them he renamed, like the account of Abraham, the account of Sarah, the account of Jacob. It's more accounts, but I only got a few. But I want to share with y'all her name, the meaning of her name. So hold on real quick. Let's see. Okay. Is it the first or second? Let's see. Yeah, here it is right here. So I'm gonna just blow it up. Y'all see that image they got up there? Man.
Mm-mm.
I'm done. I'm so dumb, but listen to it. Okay, it says, Miriam is one of the few women that the Bible refers to as a prophetess. Miriam was born in Egypt when the Jewish people were reduced to slavery, oppression, and hard labor. Having been born at the time when enslavement began, her parents named her Miriam from the Hebrew word meaning bitterness. That's what her name means, sisters. Her name means bitterness, to be bitter. And yeah, and let me come back. I found that very interesting. You know, the fact that she did what she did, like, it really explained the state that she was in, though. Like, we know bitterness, and I found this out just through studying, is directly connected to rebellion. It's literally, it runs hand in hand. Rebellion runs hand in hand with bitterness, and I'm gonna prove that through precepts and just the definition of the words. So with that being said, the bitterness you can find in the Strong's 4751, and it means discontented, greatly distressed. And then I want to pull a precept on that real fast. Ephesians 4:31. It says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from among you with all malice, and be kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as Yahweh for Christ's sake have forgiven you. So Jesus commanded that we put these things off of us. And what I'm gonna do is open a story, Numbers chapter 12, and just get a couple of precepts. What happened to Miriam, what led up to her getting cursed by the Most High, and then we can just talk about it. So Numbers chapter 12. I'm gonna start at 1. I'm gonna read 1 through 3. And then I want to bring out a couple of accounts. So Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman, and whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all men which were upon the face of the earth. So in verse 1, y'all, when it says spake against, I literally just went to get the meaning of what they meant spake, because we speak all the time, but what is it that they were speaking? What did these words represent? So I want to just share my screen and show y'all what it meant right there when it said spake. So we're gonna go to the blue letter real quick. It's not opening. Why is it not opening? Can y'all see my screen? Okay, here we go. So we're gonna type in, we're gonna get Numbers 12 and verse 1. Okay, so we'll go down to spake and see what it meant. All right. So it says properly to arrange, but use figuratively of words to speak rarely in a destructive sense. To subdue. So what they were speaking, it was destructive in a destructive sense, meaning it wasn't in a good way. It was to bring Moses down per se. To subdue means to bring under control, right? So we know she's already out of order by what she's doing, being a woman, speaking up against the man, whether it's her brother or whoever it is. It says answer, appoint, bid, command, commune, declare, destroy. Give name, promise, pronounce, rehearse, say, speak, be a spokesman, subdue, talk, teach, tell, think, use. So a couple of words really stood out. The destructive sense, to subdue, and to destroy. So I'm gonna come back real quick. Now we get a better understanding of what they was talking about. So in a destructive sense, if they're talking destructively about someone, Moses, which she was doing, she was literally speaking his downfall. She was coming up against him. She wasn't in submission. She was out of order. She wanted to subdue, meaning take control and run him. That's what she thought her ideas was better than his ideas. She thought, it's okay to speak against the servant of the Most High. Ain't nothing gonna happen. So we can get a greater understanding when to say they spoke against them. So guess what? We're gonna keep reading and see what happens. Verse 4. It's saying the Lord spoke suddenly to Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out, and the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and in similitudes of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So the Most High is like he's checking her at this point. Her words literally went to the ears of the Most High, what she spoke, because it wasn't just her words, it was her heart. It was her thoughts about her brother. It was the fact that she was out of order. First of all, she didn't keep that order that the Most High set up. She literally had put herself over the servant of the Most High, and it angered him. And he literally cursed her right after. But before we get to the curses, I just want to bring a couple of precepts out about our words and how we have to really consider the things that we say when you're speaking up against the servants of the Most High. We don't know who the servants of the Most High is today, do we? Sisters could be married to a servant of the Most High. Your brother could be a servant of the Most High, your cousin, your aunt, we don't know. So we have to move in circumspect and in respect, or the same thing that happened to Miriam or worse could happen to us. And that's what we should be learning from this story. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 1, 8 and 9. It says, therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance when it punisheth passes by him. So her words that she spoke in her haughty, prideful spirit, with no regards, to the servant Moses, she didn't think that the Most High was going to hear these things. But it went right to the ear of the Most High. It said, for the inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. Y'all, that's scary right there. So let's keep reading, because that's exactly what happened with Miriam. Her words went right to the ears of the Most High. Verse 9, it say, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. That's the curse, y'all. We know leprous is not, that's not a good thing. I really feel like her leprous, she was probably close to death. Verse 11, it say, and Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her now be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O Lord, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father but has spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received again. So are y'all saying this? Aaron's crying out. Moses is even crying out. And the Most High was still upset. He like had her father had a spit in her face, then she wouldn't be in a position she in right now. If she would have learned to respect the order that was set up, if she would have learned to shut her mouth and not speak against the servants of the Most High, she wouldn't be in a position she in right now, because the Most High, he loved Moses. You know, he favored Moses. Moses was his servant. He picked him. He personally picked him. So what I seen through that, it literally took for Moses to plead for his sister in order for the Most High to undo the curse that he literally had just put on Miriam, because he's about to kill her. He's about to kill her, and they knew it. He was about to kill her. So when I read this story, I found something very interesting. Like, Aaron and Miriam spoke against Moses, but nowhere in there do we see a judgment that was passed out to Aaron for speaking against his brother Moses. What's sister's thoughts on that?
My
What y'all
thought
think
is
about?
that Miriam was out of order. She was out of order, and that's why she, got the punishment, because she was out of order as a woman. You know what I mean? That's because I caught that as well, and that's what I got from it, was that she was out of order as a woman, and that's why she was cursed and not Aaron, even though both of them did the same thing. They both spake against Moses.
Constance. So what does that tell us as women? What does that tell us as women?
That will get punished faster and harder than the men.
We have to maintain the order that the Most High set up. When it comes to our lords, when it comes to the servants of the Most High, we can't open our mouth and speak what we feel like we want to speak, or try to usurp our authority over a man, over your husband, or over any servant of the Lord. We can't do it. And Miriam, she learned real quickly, and this is a beautiful example of, because the state that she was in is probably the state that the majorities of the daughters of Zion was in before they came into this truth in the world, just opening their mouth and talking, having no regards to the words that's coming out of their mouth, just speaking, just talking, thinking ain't no judgment going to come upon them. Well, what about me? I'm a prophetess too, and that's the thing too, because that, even reading the story, we know, y'all know Miriam was a prophet, right? She was a prophetess. Salakia, she was a prophetess, and she was a leader. She was a leader. But this is the thing that I'm seeing, like, with women put in these positions, like, they don't know how to handle themselves. They don't know how to just still be women, still be meek, still keep that divine order that the Most High set up, still be submissive, and know their place and not cross that line. Eve, we know Eve, she was the first one to do it and go off and do it. And now here's Miriam to go off and do it. And it's many other women in the Bible, if we read the stories and get the accounts, there's many more. But women can't handle them kind of positions, and the Most High know it. And the ones that he do use, he give them just a little bit to see if they will be obedient. Because women too quickly to be puffed up. We can get the accounts of that in Isaiah chapter 3. Why the curses? Why did the curses go out on the daughters of Zion?
Mhm.
One of the main reasons why the curses went out on the daughters of Zion was their pride. It was their pride. Do you remember he said, let me get it real quick. Isaiah 3:16. Let's pull it. It says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. That's the first thing the Most High said. The daughters of Zion are haughty, prideful. They don't know order. They don't respect order. They don't recognize order. They think they over the men. They don't got to listen to the man. They don't have to respect the servants of the Most High. They don't have to submit and be humbled or meek. And that's why they would smite. They would smite. So let's let me see how much was left on that. I think it was just a couple more precepts left. Let's see. Yeah, we get the rest. Verse, I think 15 we left off. Yeah, 15. It said, and Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people sojourned not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterwards, the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. So they waited for Miriam, 7 days for the leprosy to come up off of her. Right. So we're going to get some words that I felt like was some of the, ways that Miriam was walking in the spirit that she was in when she rose against and spoke against the servant of the Most High. Obviously, one was bitterness, and we found out that her name literally means bitterness. Pride rose up in her. She felt like she could usurp her authority over a male. Rebellion rose up in her. That spirit of murmuring, and then that forward mouth. So we're going to hit each one of them words, get the meaning, and we're going to get some precepts and bring them out. So name. To find out what a name really means, I don't have to share my screen, but we can find it in the Greek 3686. And it says a name, it means the manifestation or revelation of someone's character, distinguishing them from all others, and their reputation. So a name is very important, sisters. And I knew that coming into this truth, just from my Lord telling me, like, you can't just name your kids anything, because that's what they become. You name your kids all these crazy names, ain't got no meanings to it. You don't know the meaning to it. You just name it. You're not realizing that this is what you're putting on them. This is who they're going to be. This is the life. This is who they are. And a lot of people don't realize that. What's the first thing when sisters and brothers come into this truth? Don't they change their name?
Their name. Mm-hmm.
If we're renewed and we're being converted over, you don't want the same identity that you had in the world, because you're being reborn. Now you're coming to the law, statutes, and commandments. Now you're walking in the truth. Now you're finding out how long you've been in ignorance and darkness. And you don't want that reputation that was on you in the world and that name that was on you to stick on you now when you're in this truth. You're a new creature. Mm-hmm. So the majority of people that come into this truth, they change their name, a new identity, a new reputation, right? And then when we get our spiritual bodies, also, we get new names. The Most High, he's even going to give us a new name after being in this truth when we get our spiritual bodies and get into the kingdom. Why? Because now we're putting on a new body. We need a new name. It's a beautiful thing. So we're gonna get a couple of accounts on just how important the name is. Let's go to Proverbs 22:1. It says a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Y'all, a good name to be chosen is a beautiful thing, coming into this truth and having a new name and living by that new name and being blameless is a beautiful thing. And once that happens, you want to keep that good name. You don't want to tarnish that name. You don't want to bring blemish or spot or any profane thing mentioned on your new name that you just got. You've been given a new opportunity to get it right this time. So let's go to Genesis 17:2. So when the Most High, when he chooses people, and I got a couple of accounts, like I said, I didn't get them all in the Bible, but I just got a few. He changed their names because guess what? The Most High picked you. He chose you to be separate. He has a plan for you. He has a design set up for you. And now you need a new name so that you can carry out the plan that he set up for you. So Genesis 17, verse 2-7. Wait, that's not the right 17. Yeah, I'm in the wrong book. 17, 2 and 7. All right. It says, and I will make a covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for the father of many nations have I made thee. Y'all see how beautiful that is? Not only did the Most High choose them, but he gave them a new name, a new identity, a new reputation, a new start. And then let's drop down to verse 15. It says, and Yahweh said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. She was given a new name, a new reputation for the Most High. That's a beautiful thing. So when we get these names, we can't be wicked no more. We can't, none of these profane things should be spoken coming into this truth when we get these new names and this new identity. We walking in the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And everything that we do, speak, whatever, it should represent the law, statutes, and commandments. Our name should represent the law, statutes, and commandments. And then I want to get Revelations, this is the last precept on the names, Revelations 2:17. It says, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saying that he that receiveth it. Y'all, this is when we get into the kingdom, we get them new spiritual bodies. Guess what? We get a new name. We get a new name, and that's going to be our name forever. You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't going to be no wickedness and none of that allowed in the kingdom. So that's a beautiful thing. You restart over. When a baby get brought up into this world, regeneration, the baby come back, the baby gets a new name, a new identity, a new reputation, a new start. We can't take that for granted, sisters. That's the beautiful thing, to even, for the Most High to even love us that much, to give us the opportunity to get it right and a new start, a new reputation. That's beautiful. So the next word,
can I get a precept right quick?
Consensus.
I got a couple of them. Okay, let's do Genesis 12:2. Well, actually 3. Genesis 12:2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. That's what he told Abram.
Sis, that's beautiful.
Great among the nation. Okay. The next one is Genesis 32:28.
Okay.
And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. Yes, they changed our forefather's name, right? From Jacob to Israel, because we have power with God. It's a great name. And the last one is going to be in Apocrypha. It's Sirach 41 and 12.
Okay.
Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold. The name is very important. The name
beautiful,
is very
sis.
important.
That's a beautiful precept. Very important. And once you mess that name up, that's what everybody is gonna know you for. Just like in the world, if you took on a bad reputation about yourself, everybody knew you for that person in the world and that reputation that you took on. There wasn't nothing that you can do to get that name taken away from you. Ain't no difference. You come into this truth, you get a new name. You have to keep a good reputation about yourself. Like I said, be blameless. Make sure you walking in righteousness and being circumspect and conducting yourself as a righteous, virtuous woman. Because the moment you bring reproach against your new name, everybody's going to remember you for that name. You can't change that name.
Absolutely.
Until you get your spiritual body by the grace of the Most High, and then He give you a new name. So it's important. It's very important, sisters. Even naming your children. Give your children names. Give them biblical names with meanings behind them. Know what the names mean. And look, y'all, all my kids got biblical names, but we was big on that. We only been in this truth, a little over 3 years. We was big on like just giving our kids names that have meanings, because I really feel like you set their life up by what you name them. I always felt like that, but yeah, the next word, any sisters got more precepts on that topic, names? If not, the next word is pride. Because we know Miriam, she was moving in pride when she did what she did and she spoke how she spoke. You can find it in the Greek 5243. And pride means haughtiness, arrogance, self-destructive, vanity, and the Most High, He hate pride. There's too many accounts on it. So let's go to Sirach 10 and 12 through 14. All right. And it reads, it says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh, and his heart is turned away from his maker. The beginning of pride is when one parted from Yahweh and his heart is turned from his maker, meaning they moving in their own ways, their own thoughts. It's not pleasing to the Most High. Their steps they walk, everything about them is off and is wicked. Verse 13, it says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them suddenly. Pride will get you killed, man. It will get you destroyed. The Most High, He resists the pride and He show humble to the meek. And that's the thing. Like, we have to make sure that we're being meek and humble. And that was the perfect example of Miriam and Moses. Moses was the meek and Miriam was the pride. And the Most High struck her down with no hesitation, struck her down. And I know we read in the precepts, and I just felt like, because sometimes you got to read into the story. It seemed like that happened real quick. She said it, and then the Most High, He judged her. I mean, real quick. Like, He didn't wait. It happened like instantaneously, quickly. And with us being women, wives, women, and it's true, we gotta be circumspect with what we say out of our mouths and what we do and the thoughts that we have, because believe it or not, like, we each got a different amount, a portion of grace given to us. We don't know when that grace has ran out. We don't know how long Miriam was murmuring and complaining, or how long she was speaking the way she was speaking. You know, every account is not in there, but I'm just saying, even as women, we don't know how much grace we got to keep on, you know what I'm saying, rising up in pride, not being meek and humble, not being submissive, feeling like you could speak against the servants of the Most High, feeling like, oh, that's just my husband. This is just my husband. Oh, that's just my brother. That's just my dad. When you don't know how near and dear that person is to the Most High, how much he loved this person, or what he chose that person, who he called that person to be. And just that's ignorant to even think that way. But even thinking on that thoughts, that can get you destroyed. So we got to check the way we moving, especially in these last hours, because look, people is being taken out left and right. Israelites are dying left and right. The death angel is going through the earth, snipping and snatching people out left and right. Prophecy is being fulfilled. It's not much time left. So it's not time to keep falling and stumbling over the same brick that you see that's been there, and you keep tripping over it. You ain't figured it out. The brick is 20 feet in front of you. It's been 20 feet in front of you for how long? And you keep getting to that 19th and a half foot, and then you step another foot to the 20th foot, and you stumble over the same brick. Y'all, that's a dangerous place to be in, man. That's a dangerous place to be in. At some point, you got to learn. You got to learn, and you got to change from your ways. You got to learn. You got to change from your ways. You know, because we don't know how much grace is left. We don't even know if our grace is ran out. All we can do is hope and pray the Most High, he don't snatch his spirit from us, or that he haven't already snatched his spirit from us and we don't know it. Or that he's not dealing with us because he's not dealing with us because we know who the Most High deal with. He loves. He chastises those that he loves. And that's a way to know. Like, if the Most High love you, is he dealing with you? Is the Holy Spirit still convicting you when you go off and you do wrong? When you fall, are you being convicted, or are you just like, well, did it again? I'll try again tomorrow. All praise to the Most High. You don't get convicted. Your spirit's not getting convicted. We should be getting convicted in this. We should be getting convicted in this. So whenever we fall, we should be getting convicted. We should be beating ourselves up before the Holy Spirit use your Lord to come and correct you and chastise you. If the Most High dealing with you. That's something to really evaluate and go back and examine, because if you just being left alone in this truth, sister, something wrong. If your Lord not chastising you, something's wrong. If he's not correcting you, something's wrong. If the Most High is not correcting you, something's wrong. If everything is smooth sailing, something's wrong. Something is wrong. Just go into precepts and read it. We're not bastards, right? The Most High, he's not finna let us continue to live the lives that we want to live. We're not in the world anymore. And so when we come into this truth, you can't continue to live the way that you've been living in the world. The Most High, he'll chastise you. And if he's not chastising you, it's because you was created and you're fit for destruction. And it's a matter of time before he take you out. And that's a dangerous place to be in. That's a very dangerous place to be in. So like, yeah, I gotta plug this up. Okay, we're gonna get.
I got a precept.
Oh, go ahead, Sister Brittany.
It's okay. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So the first thing was a proud look. You know, he really hate that pridefulness. And then I think I got one more. Hold on. Okay, and this is Galatians chapter 6, verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Again, the pride.
Come on, sis. Beautiful precept.
Mhm. I got a
I got
couple.
okay, go ahead, sis.
Okay. Psalms 101, verse 5. Whoso privately slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that have an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. So we really got to watch the things that we say that come out of our mouth when we're speaking against our brethren and our sisters. Right? We got to be very mindful of that because we do not want to be cut off.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one I have is Jeremiah 13 and 15.
Okay.
It's going to reiterate what was being said in Proverbs 16 and verse 5. So it's Jeremiah 13 and 15. Hear ye and give ear. Be not proud, for the Most High have spoken. It's just reiterating it over and over again. We cannot be proud. We cannot be prideful. We cannot be arrogant. We cannot walk around here thinking that we're something when we're nothing. We just dust and ashes at the end of the day. We got to be real mindful of that daily. Something that we all got to work on, right? Because we do not want to be put over.
Calm.
Okay, that's what I got.
Calm. All right, I got a couple. Proverbs 13 and 10. It says, only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. As the daughters of Zion, pride shouldn't be rising up in us at all. It shouldn't be rising up in us at all. Because if we're being meek and humble and submissive, meaning we're willing to obey, we're willing to be told, and we're willing to receive, pride shouldn't rise up. The contention is there because your heart got hard and you don't want to receive. You don't want to be corrected. You don't want to be told anything. So it's eating that heart up of yours. That's where the contention is coming from. But with the well-advised is wisdom. Just be humble. Just be meek. Just be submissive. Just receive it. Just take the correction. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Or you want to be like Miriam. Just be quiet. Because we don't know who the Most High set up. We don't know who the brothers and sisters is. And walking circumspect, we're going to walk with wisdom, right? Discerning these times. Understanding that this could possibly be, this might be my forefather. I'm married to my forefather. Or you could be one of the foremothers.
Right.
You think the Most High going to tolerate you putting your mouth, slandering, backbiting, disrespecting, trying to overthrow with your tongue, with your mouth, with your forward mouth? He ain't tolerating that. He gonna struck you down with no warning. Probably ain't even gonna hit you. He gonna skip right over leprosy and probably just kill you in the middle of the street when you least expecting it. But let's get I got James 4 and 6. It says, but he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Sisters, how many could testify? If you're in a submissive spirit and you're being humble, right? You're doing what you need to do. And maybe a dispute happened between you and your Lord. If you in the road that you're supposed to be in, chastising is not going to come upon you. But if you out of order, the Most High, he gonna let your Lord get you, and then he gonna get you because you was out of order. You didn't only resist against him, you resisted against the Most High. Because what we got to understand as wives, The Most High put your Lord there for correction, for reproof, to lead and guide you, to wash you with the word, to love you, right? And if we resisted against what the Most High set them up for, what is we really saying? We're saying we're not really getting down with what the Most High set up. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. Like Miriam, she wasn't feeling that. She wasn't feeling that Moses was the servant of the Most High, and that's who he was using, and that he wasn't using her. He wasn't using her. Women in general, the daughters of Zion, got to get back in order and maintain the order, and don't break the line. The line being broke too much. That's what's going on. Because they think they got all this liberty and all this time to keep breaking the line. Oh, I'll break the line today. I'll be okay. I'll repent. I'll fast. I'll read my 5 chapters, and then I'll get back in line. And maybe a week from today, I'll break the line again. Then I'll repent. I'll fast. I'll read my 5 chapters. Then I'll get back in line. I mean, how many times do we expect the Most High to even think that way? Because that's a reprobate. To keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results. You're not changing. Every single week, you're breaking the line. You're repenting, you're fasting, you're reading your 5 chapters. Then next week, that same demon come and revisit you, hop on you, get you to break the line again, and you just keep on. The Most High, he's gonna, first of all, I want to get John 15, because we cannot keep doing the same thing. The Most High, he'll just remove you and replace you. He'll remove you and replace you. He'll remove us and replace us if we're not moving according to what lines up to what a submissive, humble wife should be like. How she should be, how she should conduct herself, how she should speak, the reverence that she gives. He'll replace us. And that's going into, let's go to John 15 real quick. 15:1. They say, I am the true vine and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit is taken away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So sisters, as wives, if we're not overcoming that same obstacle and fruit is not growing in that area that you keep tripping over, like that brick we was talking about, you keep tripping over that same brick, you're not growing, you're not becoming fruitful in that area. You got to get, first of all, you got to get past that log, that stumbling block that's right there in front of your face, so you can get to the next level, what the Most High got for you. If you can't never get past that log, and then all your other sisters, they been hopped that log. They moseying on down the road, and you still stuck right there because you can't get past that log. You can't get over that hump, that brick that you keep falling on your face over. Eventually, that means you're not bearing fruit in that area. You're not learning. You're not moving forward. You're not being who you were set up to be. You're not being productive. You're not being that fruitful wife that you should be. Eventually, the Most High, he'll remove you. He'll remove you. He'll pluck that tree up, cast it in the fire to be burnt, and he'll put a better tree there. And that's a word. So us as the daughters of Zion, we got to check ourselves. Stop moving in pride. Stop being haughty. Stop thinking we know all the answers to every single thing. Actually, we should just be sitting back, sitting down, being quiet and learning. You know, really. Because we need to learn more and speak less. And that's the problem. Women always want to talk. Mm-hmm. But if we can learn anything from Miriam, learn that. Learn to talk less and to guard your thoughts, because the Most High, he hear them. I had one more precept on pride, Zephaniah 2:3. Okay, Zephaniah 2, verse 3. Wait, did I write that down wrong? Hold on. Did any sister have another precept to bring out? Okay, here we are. Zephaniah 2 and 3. It says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. I'm gonna read that again, because Miriam wasn't moving like this. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness and meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. We knew that the Most High was mad about what she said. She was moving in the opposite spirit of what it just commanded us to be in, humbled and meek. Staying in that spirit and moving that way will avoid the Lord's wrath from coming upon us. That's wisdom. That's wisdom to get out the way, man. The bullets start coming, the fire start falling, the brimstone start. Hey, wisdom's gonna tell you to get out the way. I would think. Or you just gonna stand there and take it, I guess. You're gonna get hit with that wrath and get snipped out. That's the last precept I had on pride, sisters. Anybody got any more precepts? Or if not, we'll move on to the next word. So the next word is usurp. We hear that usurp a lot. Sisters come to this truth, and that was one of the first things. A woman cannot usurp her authority over me. I'm like, usurp? What is that? What? We're going to get to understand what usurp is tonight, because it's literally moving in the same spirit of submission, sisters. You can find it in the Greek, 831. It means to govern, exercise authority over, acting without submission. Did sisters catch that? I'm gonna read it again. To governor, exercise authority over, acting without submission. That's what it means to usurp. This is what Miriam was doing. So let's get Proverbs 8 and 14 through 16. Okay,
I'm sorry,
it says,
can you repeat that, sis?
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 14 through 16. You know what? I'm gonna start at verse 13 through 16.
Go on.
It says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy in every evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. This angers the Most High. And I would have to say, women have more of a forward mouth than men. They just do, because they want to say what they want to say. They want their way. They don't want to listen. They don't want to submit. They just want to do what they want to do. And that spirit is still strong in Israel. But the Most High, he said, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, arrogancy, and the evil way, in the forward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. Did anywhere in there did it say, by him queens reign, by him women reign? No. And that's what the daughters of Zion got to get through their head. We do not reign over anything. We don't control anything. We are to be in subjection and submission. That's what we was created to do. It's a submissive thing to lay down and give birth to a baby. The body, it just it willfully, forcibly submit and give birth to that child. Like that's just how the Most High set it up. You see what I'm saying? If we can't even control that, then it's a wrap for women. We just need to fall back and just play the role that we were set up to play, being submissive. But let's get the next precept. 1 Timothy 2:11 through 14. I really like this precept because this really put it in perspective. It say, let the women learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. There it is right there, sisters. Remember, usurp means acting without submission. Without submission. But the Bible is telling us, let the woman learn in subjection, or let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. That's all submission, y'all. That's being submissive. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp her authority over man. At no given time is it ever tolerable for a woman to rule over a man. Babylon teaches that, to destroy us. And I believe like a lot of the ways literally come from the Christian church and was taught to the Israelite woman just through repetition, just constantly. Because being in the Christian church, it was like you was there Sunday, then mama was taking you on Tuesday night Bible study, then you go for prayer on Thursday. So you in the church like 3 times a week, like your whole life, and you looking at these women and you learning from these women. So I did get 2 videos just to show what the Bible teaches us about the women in the churches and what Babylon teaches us, to show like a lot of sisters took on that spirit and still have that spirit from Babylon of Christianity on them, and it's true. But I just want to show y'all real quick. Can y'all see my screen? Just want to make sure y'all can see.
Fine.
Okay, Con. Yeah, I was looking at a bunch of videos to find a real good one. Let's see. Okay, so this is okay. I'll just let y'all watch this. Esau giving you a breakdown on how women's supposed to be in the churches.
This is a production of World Video Bible School. To God be the glory.
I read an article recently that indicated that of the major U.S. religious traditions, most of them now allow for women to become preachers. A man named Christian Piat has an article published on faithstreet.com in which he states that many of today's Christian seminaries have as many women as men. That is, out of those studying to be ministers, those studying to be preachers, he says there are as many women as there are men. He then lists 5 reasons why he says churches need a female preacher. Not just to be fair, but he says they need this. And we're being told today that the restrictions in the Bible against women preaching and against women being leaders in the church, we're being told that those were merely cultural issues and they have no bearing on us today. Friends, clearly there has been a change in this country and in the world in the last several years with regard to the role of women in the church. In fact, some people would even go so far as to argue that the Bible actually downplays women and degrades and demeans women. The well-known actress Amanda Donahoe once starred in a movie entitled Lair of the White Worm, in which her character spits on a crucifix. Now, commenting on that scene, she said, "Spitting on Christ was a great deal of fun, especially for me, a woman. I can't embrace a male God who has persecuted sexuality throughout the ages. Friends, for the next several minutes, we're going to be studying these questions. What does the Bible really say about the role of women? Can women serve today as preachers and elders and leaders in the church? Are the restrictions in the Bible merely cultural issues that died off a long time ago? And does the Bible really persecute and demean women? Dear friend, as we begin this study, I want to suggest to you that if a person will honestly examine the Bible, he will not find women being downgraded or demeaned or persecuted by God. The truth is, he'll find just the opposite of that. If you open your Bible to the book of Genesis, you'll find God say, "It is not good that man should be alone," Genesis 2:18. And so he created the woman. And so from the very beginning, we find woman being created by God to make a good situation out of one that was not good. You come over to the book of Proverbs, and it says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord," Proverbs 18:22. You get to the end of the book, and the proverb writer says about the virtuous woman, "Her worth is far above rubies," Proverbs 31 and verse 10. Verse 28 says, "Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her." And so when a person looks at the Bible, what he finds is God having an exalted view of women. You see, a godly woman is set on a pedestal. She is considered to be a great blessing. Okay.
I'm gonna stop right there. What's y'all give me some feedback on what he said, sisters? What's y'all thoughts?
Well, what he said was true according to the Bible about the woman, a godly woman playing her part. She is put on the proof. I mean, she is. She's to be looked up to when she's moving in the spirit of righteousness. That's what it is. She's not supposed to be over the man. She has a role to play. As long as she's playing it, she is moving.
Yep, and righteousness.
Absolutely.
And righteousness. That's right. And righteousness. So y'all caught it. Right, she's moving in righteousness.
Yes.
But I felt like he still threw some little tarnish up in there, because what he still was doing was I felt like he was highly exalting a woman over a man. Because if y'all look at the name of the video, it said how women should act in the church. Right. So every precept that he brought out, it had nothing to do with the church. It literally had nothing to do with the church. It was talking about the role of a woman, but it didn't have anything to do with the church per se. And that's my point. Like, every precept that he pulled to support that it's okay, how a woman should act in church, like women be given these roles to be pastors and preachers, and he don't have not one precept to back that up. And that was the point. You see what I'm saying? And so we can't fall asleep get put to sleep off what he's saying. The only thing he pulled was precepts according to what a righteous woman, a virtuous woman is. But none of them precepts supported what the name of his video was, which is how women should act in the church. Because we got precepts here to prove how women should act in the church. And it's not what he's talking about. He's trying to elevate. He's still trying to elevate the woman. And that's out of order. I'm going to read it again. It says 2 Timothy 2:11. It says, "Let the women learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp her authority over a man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression." He said woman's on a pedestal, when it clearly we already read what usurp means. Usurp means to not be in submission, without submission. And so that's the point I wanted to bring out with these Christian churches. Like they feed and talk this stuff into our ears, putting us to sleep, saying doctrines itching, for itching ears, just telling us what we want to hear. And it destroyed us. That's not how women's supposed to be in a church. Not the Israelite women. Maybe that's how y'all women supposed to be, but not the Israelite women. But I had a couple more precepts on usurp. And then when it comes to the daughters of Zion, in the church, you know, if a woman have questions, what should she do? Because there's precepts on that too. What the woman should do if she has
Ask her husband.
right. And if she don't agree with something that's being said, is it for her to speak up against that man, what he said? Or is it for her to not say anything and let her husband deal with it? Right?
Right.
I mean, that's order. That's order. A woman not supposed to just, you know, speak out but based off her feelings and her emotions on how she feel. She's supposed to be quiet and not bring shame to her household and just keep her mouth shut and let her husband deal with whatever it is that's going on. That lines up to the scriptures, not her speaking out. The next precept is 1 Corinthians 14, 30 through 35. I know growing up in the church, that's all I seen. The women was so out of order in the Christian church. They was running everything. They was controlling everything. The pastor couldn't even control them. And that same spirit is being brought into this truth, and that's not okay. All right, 1 Corinthians 14 and 30. It says, is that 30? Yeah, 30. It says, if anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn, and all may be comforted. And the spirit of the prophet are subject to the prophets. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. You see that? So what does that do when a woman speak out in the church? It brings, yeah, quick, real quick. It take away the word of the Most High. It brings shame to her and her household. And not only that, it'll bring judgment to her for getting out of order and not respecting that order. Ephesians 5 and 24. It says, therefore, as the church is in subjection unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husband and everything. There we go back to that subjection and submission. That's what the wife was created for and set up to do. And then Titus 2 and 3. This is another good example on how we should be. Because the behavior that Miriam moved in, was she moving in the behavior of a righteous woman?
Not at that moment, no.
She wasn't. She wasn't. So Titus 2 and 3. It says, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness. So behavior as becoming holiness, how is these women? How do they act? They respect order.
Right. They're keeping the commandments. Absolutely.
And they're leading by example. They understand that other sisters is following and watching them. And so if you're an aged woman and you're teaching, that means you're leading in good behavior. That means you're walking circumspect, because you got a lot of sisters following after you. And you bring judgment to yourself if you're not in good behavior and now you're teaching the sisters that's following you, you pretty much leading them astray when you show bad behavior of unholiness and unrighteousness. And it's time to, examine and check that at the door.
Right.
Because what's that? Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thy ways to seek love? This is the thing about this, and it's true. When we know the truth and we lead by example, we are teaching those that don't know the truth how to walk. It said, why trimmest thy ways to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones their ways. So if we go off and we have sisters following us, them sisters is gonna go off too, right or wrong. They're gonna go off.
Right.
And so if our spirits is off and we're off, then guess what? We need to fall back, go check ourselves, repent, get right, and then come back. You know what I'm saying? You don't just keep going with it. You don't just keep moving with it like everything is cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last one I have for usurp. So sisters got precepts on that word. If not, the next word is order. This is what we've been talking about all night, maintaining that godly righteous order. You can find it in Hebrews 5:4-6-8. It means arrangement and set up in order. So 1 Corinthians 11:1-3.
Yeah.
It says, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinance as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. That's the order, sisters. So at no point can that order be breaking that line. Can't break that line. Chastisement is waiting at the door if sisters break that line.
I got a precept.
Okay.
1 Corinthians 11:8.
Okay.
For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. And 9, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
Come, sis. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's so beautiful. That's so true.
Yep.
I think I got two more precepts. We know Genesis 2:18.
God.
That's the hitter. That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. A helpmeet for him. That don't mean women ruling the house, controlling the house. Them was the ways of Babylon. Them not the ways of Yahushua. Them not the ways of Yahweh. Them not the ways of a righteous woman. To be in control and still trying to rule everything. And then I got Romans 13:1. It says, let every soul be subject unto higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are, or the powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. So that's going back into, the prophets that the Most High ordained, that he got set up. The powers be with them. And then verse 2, it say, whosoever therefore resists the power, resist the ordinance of Yahweh. And they that resist shall receive shall receive damnation. Just go back into wives, being, understanding that power and that ordinance that's set up, that order through their lords, through their husbands, and keeping that. Don't break the line.
I got a
Yeah,
precept.
that's the last precept I got on that word.
Okay, I got one right quick. Ephesians 5:23.
Okay.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Reiterating what we just brought out in 1 Corinthians 11:3 about the order. It's just saying the same thing again. The husband is head over the wife, as Christ is head over the church. So that's the order.
Says it's a beautiful order too. The Most High, He know what's the best. He know what's perfect. The Most High know what makes the perfect, beautiful Israelite family. That's y'all know how beautiful that's gonna be when every Israelite family is set up in order the way the Most High ordained it. The beauty, can y'all even see it? Can y'all see how beautiful that is?
I can see it, girl. I can see it. Absolutely.
That's
I can see
that's
it.
a beautiful thing, man. Now let's talk about nation building.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Building our nation back up how it's supposed to be. That's a beautiful thing. I can't wait. I can't wait to come together with my people in the kingdom without all these wicked heathens, man, trying to destroy something and pollute and corrupt us. I cannot wait. But that's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. But that's the last precept I got on that. The next word is rebellion. You can find it in the Hebrew 4784. The spirit of rebellion took a stronghold on the daughters of Zion. And they still deal with it off and on, and it's true. And that's just a demon. So that's literally just a rebellion demon that don't want to let you go. It loves you oh so much, and it don't want to let you go.
Yeah.
But you can't be servant to your demons. You can't be servant to them, man. You have to fast these spirits off until they flee. And if they want to come back after your fast over, guess what? Go back on another fast it away.
Right.
Then if it leave and come back, fast it away. That demon's trying to kill you. It's trying to kill you. That's what it's trying to do. And it wants you to break before it breaks. But let's get the definition of it. It says, I did not realize rebellion was bitter. It says to be bitter or unpleasant, to rebel or resist, to provoke, and that's provoking the Most High to wrath, we know. Change, to be disobedient, disobey, or to be in rebelliousness towards the Most High. That's what it say. In the definition, it says to disobey, to be rebelliousness towards God. That's literally what it means. Let's go to 1 Samuel 15:23. It's like for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he have also rejected thee from being king. But sisters, that's deep. It's like rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and we know that thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That means this rebellious woman have only but a matter of time to keep being rebellious for the Most High put her to death. So we got to stay far away from that. Genesis 3:16, resisting against the Most High, what he set up, that angers him to wrath, to destroy the women that's resisting against them. So we know the curse came on us in Genesis 3:16. Let me just grab it real quick. Genesis 3:16, it said, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy sorrow and thy conception in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be unto thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Mhm.
How many daughters of Zion is resisting against this?
Many.
Yes.
They resisting against the Most High. The Most High did this. He commanded this. He did this. After the woman went off and transgressed, the Most High did this. So by not being receiving what the Most High dished out to us, we're resisting against what he's saying. That's what we're doing. We're in the spirit of rebelliousness. We don't want to line up to what he's saying. And then Ephesians 5:22. The spirit of rebelliousness is causing you to resist being submissive. It says, wives, submit yourself to your own husband as unto the Lord. If the daughters of Zion, the ones that's in rebellion, moving in the spirit of bitterness, resisting against the Most High, if it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord, if they resist what the Most High is saying, of course they're not going to submit to their husband.
Mhm.
They're resisting what the Most High established. So they're not going to have any reverence or respect for their lords. They're not. 1 Peter 3, 1 Peter 3, 1-6. Sarah loved her role. She loved being a helpmeet. She loved being a wife. She was submissive. She received the order that the Most High put up and what he set up. She didn't resist against it. And the daughters of Zion want to call themselves virtuous women and submissive, humble, meek women, but don't want to submit to their own husbands or submit to heads or submit, even if you don't have a husband, it's the submission is still has to be there because you submit to the Most High. So 1 Peter chapter 3, 1-6. Say, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting of the hair and of wearing the gold or of putting on the apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and a quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh a great price. It ain't about the outside. And we talked about that early on. It's about the inside, changing the inside, addressing the root problem, dealing with that root demon that's trying to hide there and get it up out of you, Verse 5, it says, after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also trusted in Yahweh. Yeah, I love that. It said the holy woman. It didn't just say woman. It said the holy woman also who trusted in Yahweh adorned themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. They don't resist what the Most High set up. That's what a holy woman is. She all for it. She all for what the Most High set up. She all for being submissive and honoring her Lord. Verse 6, Sarah is stunning on the daughters of Zion right now. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with amazement. That's beautiful. That's why I said our foremother Sarah, she loved the role that the Most High created her to be in. And she did an excellent job at it. That's why the Most High chose her. He picked her. You see what I'm saying? He picked her, gave her a new name, made her the mother of all nations. Or made her the mother of nations. But that's a beautiful thing. That's the last precept I have for rebellion. Sisters, got any precepts?
I got one.
Okay.
I got Deuteronomy 9:24.
Okay.
Ye have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. So that says a lot in itself.
No, right?
I
Um,
have one as well. This is Proverbs. Proverbs 1:24. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. 25. But ye have set at not all my counsel and would none of my reproof. 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when you fear come. 27. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. So, you refusing and you being rebellious, when that time come and you in great distress, he gonna laugh at your calamity.
That's right,
So-
sis. I got it. Go ahead. Was you done?
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to precept off of what you just said. Because guess what? That person is set up to be that way. It's all designed. So let's get Proverbs 16:1. It says, the preparation of the heart and men and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. So when sisters go off and talking back to their lords, talking back against the servants of the Most High, being out of order, the Most High, he set that up that way. He set that thing up that way. And that's the scary part about it. Let's go to Proverbs 20:24. It says, a man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own ways? You can't. The Most High set it up. You don't understand why. She don't understand why she keep being rebellious. She don't understand why she's bringing shame to herself. She don't understand why she keep resisting against what the Most High set up. She don't understand it. Because the Most High is causing her to do this. Let's get Jeremiah 10:23. It says, oh Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Man don't decide this. The Most High decide this. He sets it up. So it's all predestined. It's all predestined. It's just playing out. It's just playing out, sisters. So what we got to be doing is praying that the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts are acceptable in the Most High sight, that our hearts are right, that he try our inner reins, that he guard our thoughts, that he renew our spirits, creating us a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within us, that he cast not his presence away from us and take not his Holy Spirit away. That's what we got to be praying for. We got to be praying that we wasn't created to be destroyed. We got to be praying that we was chosen before the foundation of the earth to get the kingdom and get salvation. We got to be praying that we wasn't created to be part of the 2/3 to be destroyed. All right. Yeah, that's the last.
The scary part about this whole thing, for our thoughts is not his thoughts. You don't know. And that's another thing that come with pride as well. You think you walk around here because you wear your fringes and you keeping the Sabbath and you keeping all the holy days. You think that's gonna get you in, but you walking around with so much pride that you may not even get the kingdom of heaven because of your pride.
Sis.
So it's
the Most High resists the proud. He resists the proud. He's not messing with the proud. Yahushua is coming back for the meek, the low, and of the contrary heart. That's who he coming back for.
That's why it's always important to, keep yourself there and to, like you always say, examine yourself and make sure you not being proud. Like, and if you catch yourself in a moment, you know, catch yourself and pray on that. Pray that spirit, because I always pray that he, you know, replace any wicked spirit that I may have with a righteous one. You know, remove any spirit that is dishonorable in your eye and replace it with a righteous spirit.
Come. That's right.
Because these days, with everything that's going on, I mean, we know prophecy, we know what's going on, and we know we don't have a lot of time. And a lot of our sisters kind of think about the wrong things right now. You know, I feel like a lot of people are not thinking about the important things, because money and, you know, clothes, all that stuff, that's not gonna mean anything very soon. Like your spirit, your heart, your mind, these words, your armor, that's what's gonna help you in these last days. Building up your armor, reading, getting the understanding of these precepts, you know, so that when you are in a situation, you can remember the precepts, you know, and your spirit be right and be able to handle and endure whatever comes your way.
Sis. That's the spirit, because I just literally thought of a precept while you were saying that. For real, thinking of the right things, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, walking in righteousness. Let's get Revelations 3 and 10. Because this is a promise. Yahushua promises this. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation that shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast to which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. This time and liberty that we're being given, we're not taking it for granted. We working on us. We working on our spirits, walking in righteousness, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, building our sisters up, building our brothers up, fasting and praying, reading our chapters, dedicating our lives to the Most High, to these law, statutes, and to this book. And that's a promise Yahweh sacrifice. Come. So he got us. He's saying, since you have kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation that shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. That's what we got to do. And I be saying, we're in the last days. What's been working for you, that's keeping you in this truth, that's keeping you grounded, stick to that. It's too late in the game to be switching it up. It's too late in the game to be starting new circles. It's too late in the game to be going on a whole nother different road. Oh, well, let me go try this book. This book, all I've been hearing is read this book, lost books. It's too late in the game to be doing that. If you doing this kind of craziness, the Most High is literally, he's setting you up step by step for you to walk into destruction, to be destroyed. But if you've been grounded in these law, statutes, and commandments, stay in the law, statutes, and commandments. If family all of a sudden want to, we miss you so much, we want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you got to watch these spirits. Because any and everything is going to try to throw you off in these last days. Yahushua said, hold fast which thou hast, what's been working for you, and let no one take your crown, man. Don't let the devil, these demons, these serpents, and these spirits come in last minute through the back door and get you sifted out. It's too late in the hour for that, sisters. We got to stay grounded in this word. Whatever's been keeping you, these law, statutes, and commandments, whatever's been keeping your spirit, stick to that and stay there and build it up even more. Start building your faith up in these last days. Because these demons, look, it's like soon there you go, you elevate to another level. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna overcome. Here come these demons, and it's always probably an old friend or a family member trying to throw you off. trying to
Con-
throw you off and get you sifted out. Sisters,
Con-
we gotta move circumspect.
I got couple of precepts.
Okay.
So, going with everything that y'all said, we have to take advantage of this time while we have, right? Set our heart aright, right? Don't entertain the devil. Don't give him no play. You know, send him on his way when he comes. You know, ask for the spirit of discernment so we can recognize all these different ways that he's coming, because Satan desires to have us, according to Luke, right? He desires to have us, and he gonna come at our weakness. So if your weakness is entertaining your family, you might get caught up. Entertaining your friends from the past, you might get caught up, right? Not wanting to be submissive to your husband, might get caught up, right? So set our heart aright daily, examine ourselves daily, and we're gonna bring it full circle with this precept right here. Acts 23:5. Going back to how we started with the beginning with Miriam. 23:5. Then said Paul, I wist not, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. We just gotta learn to be quiet. No, we can't speak against our rulers, our leaders. We can't speak really against our brothers, our sisters. Don't speak against it. Let's not do it. And the last precept I have is Deuteronomy 24:9. Just like we was told with Lot's wife, remember Lot's wife?
Yes.
What Deuteronomy 24:9 is going to tell us what? Remember what the Lord thy God did unto Miriam. By the way, after that you were come forth out of Egypt. Same thing. Just like we got to remember Lot's wife, we better remember Miriam, right? Remember what she did, and remember how quick, fast, and in a hurry that judgment came down on her just for opening up her mouth, speaking against her brother, speaking against the leader. We got to remember that, because remember it says what in Judges 8:11, just because execution isn't executed speedily, don't mean it ain't coming.
Right.
It might come immediately, just like it did with Miriam, or it might come weeks later, months later, years later, but nonetheless it comes. Right? So we got to repent, set our heart aright, stay focused, stay rooted and grounded with what we first came in, because now is not the time. As Sister Zay was saying, we don't have time. We're trying to dibble and dabble in this and that. That's over.
I got a precept real quick.
Time.
Ephesians 5:15 and 16. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And, redeeming your time, using your time wisely, because we don't have a lot of time to be sitting around watching TV, going, hanging out, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who has time for that? Who, if you in this truth and you see the things that is going on right now, who honestly have time for that? Because if you have time for that, I feel like that's saying, I got this, I'm good. Like, I don't got nothing I need to work on. I'm okay. I know I'm gonna be okay. I know I got a lot of stuff to work on. And personally, I ain't got time to be wasting. I need every precept, every piece of, knowledge and understanding I could get in these last days, because I want to ensure that my spirit is at peace with knowing that I'm really trying to do everything that I can to be righteous, and to be acceptable in the Most High's eyes. Because we just don't know. We just don't know how fast this thing can all, happen. It can happen tonight while we sleep. As soon as we get off this Zoom and lay down, what I mean? So that's why redeeming the time, redeem your time. If he woke you up this morning, he gave you more time to get it right. Redeem it and do the right thing. Do the righteous things with your time.
That's right.
Mhm.
Concepts. And I got a precept going off what Sister Terry was saying. Don't think just because the Most High not executing speedily that is not coming. Because it's coming. Little by little. It's coming. But I got a precept in Sirach 23:19. It says, such a man only fear the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man and considering the most secret parts. He knew all things ere ever they were created. So also, after they were perfected, he looked upon them all. This man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspected it not, he shall be taken. So we got to understand every single thing, thought, way, action that we do, we have to make sure it's acceptable on the side of the Most High, that is pleasing to the Lord, not to men. It don't matter what a man got to think or say, to the Most High, because the Most High, he see. Even before that word came out your mouth, he's seeing it in your heart. He's seeing it in your mind. And then it came out your mouth. And then he just seen who you hurt from the words that just came out of your mouth. So we got to be conscious of that. We got to consider everything that we doing in these last hours, because I believe your inner thoughts, the words that you don't speak, them words are louder than the actual words that come out of your mouth. The Most High, because he's looking at your heart. You see what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, that murmuring that you doing inside is way louder and goes straight to the ears of the Most High than what comes out of your mouth. Because that's some other kind of stuff. You sitting there murmuring under your breath inside your spirit. You mad, and the person you by don't even notice how you thinking or feeling about them. You ain't saying it, but the Most High see it. So that's the next word, is murmur. I got a couple precepts on that word. Worm is you can find it in the Hebrew 7:2-7:9, and it means to whisper, criticize, or grumble. And the first and slander, Salakia, it also means to slander. So the first precept I got is 1 Corinthians 10:10. It said, neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. We know what happened to the children of Israel in the wilderness, the murmuring and the complaining, the Most High destroyed them. And ain't no difference from us today. The Most High don't like that spirit of murmuring and complaining. Like we was talking earlier before we started. Just murmuring, going through the affliction that the Most High, he's afflicting you and putting you through, your flame, the fire that you're going through. Just go through it and rejoice while you're going through it, and give the Most High praise while you're going through it. Don't sit there and complain and murmur in the midst of your affliction, because everything was already set up for you to go through that. So just get the Most High praise. And that's going into that Sirach 2, what Sister Terry was saying. Let's pull it real quick.
Yeah.
It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. When we came into this truth, we had to know that we got to prepare ourselves now for temptation, for them demons to try to come and overthrow us, to get us to go back into the world, to return back to these reprobate, rebellious women that we were before we came into this truth, you know. But during the time of affliction and tribulation, we can't make haste to hurry up and try to get out that situation, complain like, oh my God, Lord, while we're going through the fire, because we know the fire is only going to refine us and make us better. Verse 2, it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, Make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou may be increased at thy last end. And that's the thing, sisters. It hurt going through the flames, man. That fire hurts.
Yes.
But are you going to make it through the fire? Are you going to make it through the flame? Are you going to come out better than you was before you went through it? Because the affliction only makes us better. It only makes us better. Verse 3, it say, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou may be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. And that's that point when the Most High, he brought you to that lower low. And you feel like you can't go no lower. Give him thanks and praise. He's refining you. He's putting you through that fire to make you better. And it was all predestined. So just give him praise. I believe the more you complain and murmur going through your affliction, the longer it be. The longer it look at the children of Israel was in the wilderness for 40 years. 40 years, y'all. They complained and murmured for 40 years. Verse 5, it say, for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in a furnace of adversity. So you want to go through this fire, man. This fire is telling you you're an acceptable man to go through the furnace of adversity. You're acceptable enough to go through the furnace of adversity. Most High, he's not putting everybody through this. Everybody's not going through this affliction, going through this tribulation. If he's putting you through it, he loves you and he want to make you better. So verse 6, it say, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. And that's what we got to do. That's the word, that's what we have to do. It's not easy. It's nothing easy about it. Look at Yahushua. He went through it.
Mm-hmm.
How much more us? We got to go through it too. I got a couple more precepts on murmur. Go ahead, sis.
No, I just got a precept real quick on what you were saying. It's Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correct, even as a father the son in whom he delighted. So be happy, that you going through what you're going through, because it shows that he loves you. Like you were saying, it shows that he loves you and he care about you to even put you through the things that he's putting you through.
That's true. That's right. Because, hey, how many can look at family members right now, Salakia, and they ain't going through a flick of affliction. They ain't going through it. They not going through nothing, y'all. And but they looking at you laughing like, look at them. I told you. And they say they serve who? They believe in who? They keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and they going through that. They think they're better off than you are. But what they don't understand is the Most High is not dealing with you. He ain't dealing with you. That's all that's really saying. He ain't dealing with you, man. But Numbers 14 and 27. It says, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmured against me. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. So we just got to understand all the words, all this complaining, everything is going straight to the ears of the Most High, and it's not pleasing to him. So we got to come from that. And then the last word I had was having a forward mouth. I don't got the Strongs for it, but sisters can just type it in to get the Strongs where to find it. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. But it just means arrogance or insolent. And then the first precept is Proverbs 8 and 13. Oh, you know what? I think I brought that one out earlier. I did. That's just having that forward mouth. We can read it again. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way in the forward mouth do the Lord hates. So it must have been meant to read again. But the next precept is Proverbs 4:23. It says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. And we was talking about that earlier. Keeping your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. Just building your spirit up with the precepts and guarding your thoughts, guarding your emotions, controlling them, because there's nothing but spirits that's trying to overthrow you. And by doing that, you just constantly stay in the precepts, constantly fast. So that way, when certain things come your way, the only thing that's coming out of you is precepts. You know what I'm saying? You're not going off. It's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to sin. And that's what we got to learn, to guard our hearts, which is our minds. And that way we'll have a better control out of what comes out of our mouth. Verse 24, it say, put away from thee a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. And that's what we have to do, because the Most High, he don't like that thing. And then I got one more precept. Lamentations 3:38.
Still off.
Lamentations 3:38. It says, it say, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. Wherefore doeth a living man complain, and a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. That's a beautiful precept. That's examining ourselves, checking our ways, checking our hearts, turning from them, or actually acknowledging them, repenting, and then turn it back to the Most High and get it right. We got to consider what we're doing. If we're constantly doing stuff that's contrary to what the word of the Most High say, then we got to examine ourselves and check ourselves and see where is it that we're going off. What's causing us to go off? What's triggering us? What stumbling block is there causing us to fall? Is it the same thing? Is it something new? You see, we got to just consider everything. Are you praying? Because people, you got witches that like to speak, throw them curses and speak against you and your family, so we got to constantly stay prayed up. But when something in your life it throws you off out of nowhere that wasn't there before, you got to pray. You got to pray. Because it could be somebody speaking against your family. It could be somebody speaking against you, praying that you fall out the truth, praying that you disrespect your Lord, praying that you hate your sister, praying that you break the Sabbath. I can't wait till they come out of that cult. That dang on cult. All they do is want to wear dresses down to the floor and cover their heads and keep the Sabbath. They don't want to eat no pork. They only want to read the Bible. We can't even have a regular conversation without them reading out the Bible. Why can't they just speak their own words? What's wrong with their words? We always got to hear, thus saith the Lord. That's a demon that want to sift you out, that want to destroy you. And it's real, sisters. We got to stay prayed up, because these little witches and warlocks out here, they throwing it up there. Hey, what it say? A righteous man prayers availeth much, though. Yeah. So if we walking in the ways of the Most High, our prayer is going to cast out them wicked, evil spells that they're speaking against you and your family to get y'all to fall out the truth, or to come out they so-called cult that they call it, sisters. Right? So we just got to examine, look around, find out what's going on, what's offsetting us, what's throwing my family off. What is it? Something's off. It's time to fast. It's time to pray. It's time to check the kids, because spirits can even come in through your children. What they watching, what they reading, who they talking to. They could just be on the internet doing their schoolwork, and a pop-up pops up. And then they click on this pop-up, and now they find themselves looking at something they ain't got no business. The spirit just entered into your home. So like, we got to check every avenue, make sure no doors are open, because spirits is real, sisters, especially in these last days. These demons is, look, they done went to another level with it.
Yeah.
And that's real.
I got a precept real quick on forward.
Okay.
Let's go to Proverbs 3:32. For the forward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blessed the habitation of the just. So, you know, when you walking in righteousness, it's a blessing. You know that you are safe when you keeping the commandments. Like, you can't go wrong if you keeping the commandments. But the moment you turn your foot towards the wicked, you be scared. When you fall off or you do something, when you in this truth, you done messed up. Your spirit bear with you done messed up. And in your prayer, I hope you be praying for mercy.
Yeah. You gotta pray for mercy.
Because you're gonna get it, but you just pray for the mercy that it's not that bad, whatever it is you have coming, because you're gonna have something coming. Man, these last days, this is serious. This is not a game. It's not a joke. It's nothing to play around with. It's nothing to play around with. It's like in these days, if you find yourself being lukewarm, you better figure it out quick. Figure out what side you on. Figure out what you want to do. Because I'm sorry, my spirit just feeling it like we ain't got no time to be playing around. I'm laughing, but it's a nervous laugh. Like, we do not have time to be kikiing. That's we what don't. We don't have time for that. It's no time for that.
Sis. And which is really like, we see the times. We can discern the times, sisters. So that means we should be going through this Bible, looking up everything that pertains to a woman and making sure we're fitting what is in the scriptures, what is describing this virtuous woman, man. We see the times, we understand the times we're living in. We see the prophecies coming to pass. So we just gonna sit there and not change, not better ourselves, not do better than we did yesterday. Examining where we went off yesterday, seeing what the problem was, what set you off. Now you have a plan for tomorrow to make sure you don't fall over that stumbling block again. Have some plan of action that you're gonna do to address the demon that you dealt with yesterday. So, because he ain't going nowhere. He's sitting in that corner waiting for another day to get you to go off again, sisters. No, fight these demons back. You got to get up off of me and up out of my house. Because I'm not gonna lay down and let you kill or destroy me. You got to fight these demons back because they don't want to flee. And I thank the Most High, like when I have peace, I'm just like, thank you, the water Abba, the water Abba, the water Abba. He's allowing me to re-energize myself, get my strength up, get in my precepts fast, because I know that demon coming back. I know the demon coming back. So I thank the Most High when I get these breaks, man. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm not being afflicted. That's the time that you want to build yourself up, because now it's about to be time to go back to war. Only this time, this demon might bring another demon with him. Oh, we seen her. Look at her. She read them 10 chapters yesterday. She fasted. She did a sister fast with her sisters. Yeah. We gonna bring this demon and we gonna hit her with this demon that she not ready for. This is a new demon. And we gonna hit her with that in the side. She ain't gonna be ready for it. But this is how we gotta think, y'all. This is spiritual war. It's a spiritual warfare. This is spiritual. We gotta be ready, man. It was Sister Terry. She say, put on the whole armor of the Most High. We have to put on the whole armor of God. and keep it on. Keep it on so that we able to withstand these demons that come at us to overthrow us and to sift us out. Sisters, we have to fight back. It's not a physical fight. It's a spiritual fight. And we got to be praying for each other. Stop. Pray for your sisters. You don't got to know what's going on with your sisters. Just know your sisters need prayer. Pray for your sisters. Intercede for them. We got to be interceding for each other in these last days, man. Because a lot of people is going to get destroyed. A lot of people is going to die. A lot of people is going to get sifted out. A lot is getting ready to go on, sisters. And right now, the Most High, he's sealing up his people. He's sealing them up. He's sealing them up. Passover's right around the corner. He's sealing them up. The death angel is ready. Can't wait to be released so he can come out and start killing. The Most High is sealing his people up. We better stop playing like this is a game. This ain't no game. Live like this is your last day to get it right with the Most High.
Absolutely.
And you'll do better. You won't keep putting off. Whatever you put your hand to do, you'll do it with all your might unto the Most High. If you think that way, train your mind to think that way. Because we don't know. We don't know. We don't know when our time is. We don't know if we're going to endure Jacob's trouble. We don't know if we're going to be here. We don't know. But what we do know is we got these living waters right here. And what we do know is that we should take advantage with the liberty and the time that's being given to us and apply it to our lives and do the best that we can do to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. You know, the angels is cheering for us, y'all. They cheering us on.
Right.
So we got to run this race, man.
It's definitely spiritual because before, like, I was in the truth, I just looked at the world as just, you know, just it is what it is, just life. But now, like, I see things so just down to the point to the spirit on the people. Like when I'm walking through the store or I'm just out and about, you can see, like, I be feeling like we in those times again, like we're in Egypt, like we are our people again, like we are here again, y'all. Like and when you look at it with that spiritual mind, you just look around you and you just see everything that's going on. There's nothing new under the sun, really. Literally, we're going through it all over again. We're in the times of Noah all over again. You know,
That's right.
And sometimes I see these spirits on people, and you know, it amazes me that I can see these things now. You know how say you were blind and now you can see. Literally, now I can see what is going on around me. You know, I can discern these spirits around me. As soon as it walked through the door, I know what's going on with this. You know what I mean? I know what this is about, how this is about to go down. The spirit of America, period. Just the spirits that's going on in these last days.
Calm. And another good thing to help sisters out, like when you're being afflicted and you know it's a demon. You know it's a demon, right? You know it's a demon. Working through whoever. Man, call that demon out. Expose that demon, man. And tell that demon to flee and start praying to the Most High. Cast that demon out your house. Don't just let it sit there. Because he might go from you to your husband, to your children, to the dog. The dang old dog won't be quiet, keep howling. Like, you be like, this dog is possessed. What is wrong with this dog? You don't, seriously, like, them be spirits, man. And that's it. Look, y'all. Now, in the world, I knew spirits was real. But when I tell y'all, facing spirits in this truth, I faced more spirits in this truth than I ever faced when I was in the world. Ever, y'all. And I knew spirits was real, and I knew they could come into your house. I knew that. But coming into this truth, that's how I know. That's how I know. Because these demons, they try to ante up. They try to gang up on you, a bunch of them at once. But you know what that made? The Most High, he chose you. You special. You special, and you being tried, and you have to overcome the test that's being put in front of you. Overcome it. Sister, step over that stumbling block this time. Stop tripping over it. Hop over it.
Okay, leap, jump.
Stop falling
Slide.
over the same brick, man. For real. We gotta learn. We gotta learn. So I got a couple more precepts, just examining our ways. And a couple of the snares, like I said, I think the main things when it comes to the daughters of Zion, it be pride that rises up in us that causes us to get judged and destroyed. And it be the mouth, having a forward mouth. So we got to learn to guard our mouths. And in order to guard your mouth, you got to guard your mind, fill it up with precepts, fasting and praying. And then that way you're training what comes out your mouth. Because if you don't work on your mind, if your mind is weak, like it say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So if your mind is weak, but you got your mouth covered because you don't want to slip up. Eventually you're going to slip up because you haven't trained your mind. Your mind's weak. Build your mind up with the precepts. That's what we got to do. You got to address the root problem, man. You can't come into this truth with a worldly mindset. You got to renew your mind. So Proverbs 19 and 14. It says, houses and riches are the inheritance of fathers. I know that's not the right precept. Salakia, sisters. It's Psalms 19 and 14. Salakia. Psalms 19 and 14. They say, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Sisters, if we think about this with everything that we do, we make sure it's pleasing to the Most High. We consider our ways, consider our thoughts, consider the words that come out of our mouth. I guarantee you will walk more righteous. If you fear the Most High, you'll consider these things. You'll think about the meditation of your heart, and you'll think about the words that come out your mouth if they're acceptable in the sight of the Most High. If you love him and if you fear him, you'll think about these things, and it will cause you to be a better woman. Psalms 19 and 3. It say the foolishness of a man perverteth his ways, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. That foolishness in that man perverted his own ways, y'all. Like he's given over to his own desires. He don't even try to have control over anything when it comes to wickedness. He just allowed, like we were saying, that demon being servant to that demon, just letting that demon rule him. And he knows it's a demon. He knows it's a demon. She knows it's a demon. But not even trying to fight it. Proverbs 21 and 23. I kind of stayed in Proverbs today. 21 and 23. Let's see. It says, whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. Y'all see this, sisters? Keep his soul from troubles. If we can just learn to guard our mouth, how much better off we will be. Because imagine, even if whatever it is upsets you, you disagree, if you just keep your mouth closed and don't speak on it. Because I've learned when I'm upset, I need to just shut up, not to say anything. Just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Control my spirit and not say anything. It is better for me to just be quiet when I'm upset. It's better for me to be, because if I don't, that snare could cause me to be destroyed. That snare would be having a forward mouth and just saying what I want to say. But we know every word is going to be a given account in the day of judgment. So that's important, sisters. When you angry, we act different we act out of character when we're angry, first of all, because it's a spirit on us. It's a spirit on us. We're not walking in the fruits of the spirit. It's a wicked spirit that's on us when we're angry. So we can control our mouths and our thoughts when we're upset and allow that to subside, where you can clearly think now, and you back in the fruits of the spirit, you'll see that was a demon on you real quick. That was a quick test. You know what I'm saying? Came at you, tried to overthrow you real quick, get you to fall and stumble, just to get you chastised. And that's how we literally got to start thinking. And then I got Proverbs 13:3. It say, he that keepeth his mouth, keep his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. And that's a good example of what happened with Miriam. She opened her mouth wide, didn't she? And the Most High cursed her. He was about to kill her. Man. He was going to kill her. But Moses pleaded. He begged the Most High not to do it. You know, that's love. And then I have one last precept, which is Sirach 21:1. It say, my son, if thou hast sinned, do so no more, but ask pardon for thy former sins. So when we ask pardon for our former sins, that means don't do them no more. Just put them away and keep it moving. Acknowledge your sins, repent, and keep it moving. And that's all I got, sisters. Sisters, got any precepts?
No, I don't have any more.
Come on, sisters. Well, I hope this helps. I hope the whole story of Miriam helped us, like, to learn, you know, that's our foremother, but we can learn from what she, you know, the way she moved with the servants on the both sides to avoid the snares, because that was the snare of death that Miriam did to herself when she opened her mouth and spoke against the servant of the Most High. That was the snare of death to her. And we got to learn from it. And all these words that I gave was all basically, that was wickedness. She moved in it. She was moving in that. That's what she was moving in. But we got to move in opposite. We got to make sure we being submissive. We got to, and this the thing about it. Don't think just because, don't look at the people around you as just, that's just such and such. Oh, that's just such and such. That's just such and such. Oh, that's just such and such. I think I had a precept about that, that I think I skipped over, about Yahweh Shai, where it say a prophet is without honor in his hometown. I think it's Mark. I had it wrote down. Let me find it real quick. I'm gonna look it up real fast. Because I think that's what got Miriam in trouble. She like, oh, this is just my brother Moses, you know?
Right.
When it wasn't. He the servant of the Most High. Yeah, Mark 6:4. It says, but Yahweh Shai said unto them, a prophet is without, you know what? Let's go back up to 2 so we kind of get an account of what's going on. We'll just start at verse 1. So 6:1, it say, and he went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, from whence have this man these things? And what wisdom is this which giveth unto him, that even such mighty works were wrought by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and of Judah and Simeon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him. But Yahweh Shai said unto them, a prophet is without honor, but his own country, and among his own kin in his own house. So, sister, that's a word.
That's a word.
Don't look at your sister and your brother like that's just such and such. That's just my brother. That's just my sister. oh, this is just my husband, this just my Lord. Oh, that's just my counselor. Oh, don't look at people like that, because we don't know who the Most High set up, who's near and dear to him, and who he's willing to destroy if they put their mouth on one of his servants. We can't be a respecter of persons just because you feel like you know this person. Oh, they ain't nobody. That's just such and such. That's a sin to even be a respecter of persons. You can't treat one person better because according to everybody know who this person is and according to what they have. And then you treat this person as meek and low, and of a contrite heart. And because they apparel is not as pleasing to the eye, or nobody really know this person. So then you're just going to treat this person like they're nobody. That's a sin. That's transgressing the law. That's being a respecter of persons. And the Most High, he'll destroy you for that. So that's the word, sisters. We got to treat everybody with love, loving our neighbor in his truth, keeping our mouth closed, guarding our tongues, guarding our minds. If we fall, repent, acknowledge your sins, repent, get back up, sisters. Continue to run this race. And to he who endures unto the end, the same shall be saved, sisters. So I hope this helped. I hope it was edifying. Shalom to everybody tuning in on the live. Sisters, that's it. That's all I got.
That was some word.
That
Good
was
word.
good.
All praises to the Most High.
Yeah.
All praises to the Most High. All right, I love y'all. Shalom to everybody.